All right, my toxic gang members. Today we're going to talk about what to do when a guy pulls away or acts distant. Okay? Look, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of you ladies tolerate a guy acting distant for a few reasons. One, he's traumatized and his girlfriend cheated on him and he needs a fucking support. Right? That bullshit excuse of he's a victim and so you need to tolerate it. A guy acts in or because or you let a guy act distant because you like him and you don't want to lose him. The point is, ladies and gentlemen, is that or because he's an avoiding attachment, all that kind of stuff will make you tolerate a guy who acts distant. Okay? Now look, understand this. When a man's number one fear is that another guy impregnates you, especially a guy who's higher value than him. That's his number one fear. And I say that not because he's consciously thinking of it. He just don't want you to fuck another dude. You know what I'm saying? But because evolutionarily his DNA knows that that cannot happen. Because what his body wants is to impregnate you. His mind just wants to fuck you. Okay? Right? But it depends. Maybe you guys are in a relationship and you guys are boyfriend and girlfriend or even wife, right? So this could also apply. This might not apply much to if you're in a marriage, okay? If you're in a marriage, you have to talk about it. You have to go to to therapy, but it could possibly apply as well, right? I mean, I don't know. Sometimes when you're in a relationship, you guys grow distant. All right, or he grows distant and you barely see the motherfucker. So it's kind of like I'm gonna show you what to do if he acts distant. This is actually very interesting. This is based on evolutionary psychology. This is not based on just my own theories, right? So that's the first thing: is that a guy does not want you to be impregnated by another man. That's the number one fear. It's very important to remember that because the amount of sperm a guy creates, right? His body creates a lot of sperm, right? But when isn't that it's created the most? It's not when he's close to you. Right? His body creates more sperm. The amount of sperm a man puts into a woman doesn't depend on how much he knows her or how much he likes her. It depends how long he's been away from her. All right? Because what his body's saying is that, yo, we've been away from this girl a long time. Let's make sure we give her the whole load, okay? And because it's almost like it wants to push away all the other sperm because we really notice the dick is shaped like a suction cup, like the boop boop that part. When it comes out, it pulls out sperm. It's like get the fuck back, and the sperm like I want to get there, right? Right. So yeah. So something that you could do to create. So understand that, right? So when he's away, that's when he wants to fuck you the most, all right? And when he's away, that's when he's afraid of another guy losing you. So he has a lot of fear when he's away. And he's afraid that another guy's gonna bang you. So we could use those things to our advantage, right? Because when it comes to warfare, and this is almost like warfare, but it's not. But you get what I'm trying to say, mental warfare. When it comes to that, you gotta know your enemy, and you gotta know the basic psychology of men. Because look, by the way, we're having a seminar in New York City, social intelligence, January 8th. Click on the description down below to purchase tickets online and in person. So something that you could do when he pulls away or is acting distant, just dress sexy. Because look, the way a woman dresses indicates what she's looking for, evolutionarily speaking. Okay, that's why when a woman is menstruating, when she's fertile, the most fertile out of her month, that's why she actually shows more of her body. She shows off more of her body when she's most fertile. It's unconsciously, because this indicates to men that you're looking for short-term sex. By dressing sexy, you're indicating to men unconsciously that you're looking for short-term sex. When a woman dresses modestly, she's indicating a long-term relationship. But what that does to the guy who's acting distant is that he also registers that, and he's aware that there's dicks all around us, right? And so he's gonna feel that other men are gonna see the signals that you're sending. You're not banging them, you're just sending signals, right? You have plausible deniability. He cannot accuse you of cheating simply because you're dressing sexy. But by simply dressing sexy, he's gonna say, who are you dressing sexy for? And it's naturally gonna make him want to chase more, right? Your partner will see it and will assume you're advertising yourself, right? But it has plausible deniability because he's just acting distant. So it could be that he's not texting you as much, not calling you as much. He's always busy. Just post sexy photos on social media. You women do this without even knowing it, but it actually works. It's perfectly aligned with male psychology. Right? He's gonna assume that other men want you, and it'll raise your value naturally. When a man is pulling away, one of the reasons also why men pull away is because you might be making yourself too available, and when you become too available, it naturally lowers your value. So you raise your value by creating competition, right? Because when you create competition, it raises a man's testosterone level along with aggression. And it makes a guy chase super fucking hard, right? But let's keep on topic, right? So remember, this indicates that you're looking for short-term sex, even though you're not. But the point is that his brain will all of a sudden start seeing threats everywhere. A man's brain, when he's fighting for his woman, all of a sudden will assume that every guy is trying to bang her. Now, you got to be careful with this because sometimes, depending on the guy, if he's a possessive, jealous motherfucker, you got to be careful with this. Know your clientele. But he's going to assume that other men want you. Remember, the brain has more neurons to tell your eyes what to see than the eye has neurons to tell your brain what it's actually seeing. In other words, when the brain is in a mode of scarcity, when the brain is afraid, when the brain feels like it's going to lose something, all of a sudden the brain is going to look for threats. When your brain feels threatened, when your evolutionary value feels threatened, your brain will literally scan for threats more. And so he's going to be more emotional, more jealous, more envious. In other words, he's going to want to get close to you and secure you. Right? But remember, these becomes false positives. In other words, these are fears that most likely might not happen because you're not cheating on him, right? But his brain will assume that you are. And the reason why is because the brain, even though if you're not actually cheating, he's going to feel that maybe you're cheating. It's evolutionarily sort of advantageous because if a man doesn't assume that you might be cheating, it's better off to be wrong than right. It's better because you get what I'm trying to say. It's a false positive that evolutionarily a man wants to have because it's better safe than sorry. You see what I'm saying? So the paranoia that he feels is meant to prevent you from cheating. So that's why that's why men murder a lot more often because of women, like because of jealousy, because of women, right? So when this happens, then when he feels that envy, that jealousy, this will raise his testosterone level. And his vanity and self-esteem will make him compete for you, right? Because when testosterone level rises, aggression naturally rises, and the desire to compete will naturally rise. Dopamine will fill his brain because he feels like he can win you over. But that dopamine is also going to be marinated with testosterone. So he's going to feel like he's going to win you over. But that desire, because dopamine is like anticipation, excitement, that excitement is going to be filled with sexuality because, again, those dopamine, because the brain has testosterone, right? So that dopamine is marinated with testosterone. It'll fuel him to get you back, okay? But don't give him the satisfaction. When he starts chasing, when he starts seeing that positive, because, again, something that you can do to make this effect is go out with your friends and dress sexy. Like seriously, I'm not kidding with you. Just dressing sexy and going out with your friends. If you live with the guy or if you don't live with the guy, if you live with the guy, just go out with your friends dressing sexy and don't invite him. If you don't live with the guy, just show photos or Instagram stories of you out with your friends dressing sexy, right? It's going to make him want to chase. But don't give him the satisfaction when he chases after you, right? And the reason why is because of this. One, if you resist, it shows that you have self-control and that you're a woman who has good genes. Resisting wanting you to take him back will show him that you are somebody who has value. But if you just take him back without making him fight for it, naturally, unconsciously, he's gonna think you're low value. An example is this, right? And this is one of the most fucked up examples, but it's like it's reality. If you're a rapist, right? If you're somebody who does that, violating a woman was one of the ways that people actually procreated back then. Like just forcefully. That was the way low value men actually got to procreate, was through that, which is sad, right? But the thing is that if you're a man, you want the woman that resists the most. if you're trying to do that. Why? Because you want the woman who has the most will, who has the most strength, who resists the most. It says those are good genes. Why? Because a low value, weak man will not be able to rape her. It's just that simple, right? So you want the woman to resist, but also a woman wants to resist because she doesn't want to get some weak, rapey genes from a dude. She wants the best one. She wants the strongest one. Maybe not her mind, but her biology wants the man who's able to submit her. Again, this is wrong. Again, this guys have to please understand this. This is actually a scientific thing. You guys can look this up. I am not bullshitting. I am not bullshitting here. A woman will want the strongest guy to actually put a baby in her. So God forbid she's in that type of situation. She's getting resisted. Now she's resistant because she doesn't want to get raped. I get it. But also she doesn't want to get genes from a guy who she's able to dominate, who she's able to actually get away from. You get what I'm trying to say? So in other words, even rape is absolutely horrible, reprehensible, but at the end of the day, you want the woman to resist, and you as a woman want to resist so that you could test his strength. And you want the woman to resist so that you could test her strength. It's fucking crazy, right? So in this occasion, it's also the same thing. You want to resist. You don't just want to give in. You just want to get back with them. You want to show them you have strength, right? So the way that you do that is, again, like in my videos, I always say, make him pay a price. Make him lick your ass. Make him write you a letter. Make a handwritten letters with no mistakes. Find something creative to make him do that he has to pay for. If he's rich, don't make him buy you things. He's not paying a price. That's not a real price. He got money. What you could do is make him do something that doesn't require money. Make him run around in his underwear with a shirt of your face that says I cheated on her. I don't fucking know. The point is that you're punishing that behavior, all right? And you let him know to get back with me, there's a price. And the second thing is that you also want to let cortisol flow through his body as long as possible. When you have dopamine and you feel like you're going to attain something that helps you evolutionarily, dopamine is rising. But whenever you don't get that one thing you were excited about, dopamine lowers and cortisol rises. It's very similar to when you're going to a party and it gets canceled, or when somebody is going on a date with you but it gets canceled. That down feeling is your cortisol, right? And also your serotonin level also, because you feel disrespected. So you want to let him feel that cortisol as long as possible. Just like a baby keeps crying until his needs are met. Right? When a baby's crying, it means that there's also cortisol flowing through that annoying ass baby's body, right? So he's crying, he's looking for attention. And the way that a guy cries and looks for attention is chasing. He feels uncomfortable. He doesn't like the feeling. And so he wants to feel better. And so he chases after you. You want him to be in that state as long as humanly possible. As long as you could. You want him to be in that place because it'll hurt the most. And when he gets you back, he's going to remember that what caused that pain was the fact that he played those stupid games. Because you gotta understand, when you get cortisol and then all of a sudden you get dopamine and it lowers cortisol levels and you feel good, your brain remembers everything that happened leading up to the moment you felt cortisol, right? This is pretty much how the brain sometimes wires trauma, where something bad happened, and when you get traumatized, you get a flood of cortisol with other concoction, with other neurochemicals. But the point is that if before that moment, you're gonna remember everything that led up to it because your brain wants to avoid it. Just like dopamine, if you find berries that are delicious, your brain is gonna remember everything that led up to finding those berries. And in fact, you're going to have a photographic memory where those berries are. It's the opposite of that. It's that when somebody hurts you, cortisol flows, you remember exactly what caused you to feel that pain, and so you avoid it. You get what I'm trying to say? So you're training him to not fuck with you, baby. And if he ever does it again, remember this. The pain of winning you back will maybe make him never do it again. If he does do it again, then it's an ingrained part of his personality and you have to leave. If you always have to apply these strategies to get him to chase back, baby, I'm sorry, you gotta, why am I calling you guys baby? Baby, this is my paint voice, by the way. Baby, you don't have to be with a guy like that. All you gotta do is make sure that you leave. That's right, girl. If a guy puts away, make sure that that's the last time he does it. Make sure that he understands that there are consequences. Why you talking like you're a pimp? I ain't no pimp, girl. It's the way that I talk. It's the way that I was raised. All right? Does that make sense? So if a guy pulls away, starts acting distant, just create competition. That motherfucker will know that you're not the only man in my life. All right? As long as you don't have a history of cheating, I recommend that you guys apply these strategies. All right? All right, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys enjoy this video. If you guys want to get one-on-one coaching from me, go to mindfulattraction.org. And don't forget to check out my courses, Natural Chemistries for women who are single, and the Psychological Game of Attraction is for women who are in relationship. All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys ever want to learn how to use your feminine energy to influence people, learn how to use your masculine energy to become more assertive, and also learn how to blend both energies to improve your dating life, your spiritual life, honestly, your relationship life, your family life, your career life, this is the course for you. If I had to make a course for my nieces, I have two nieces, one is 19 and one is 15. 16. Holy shit. Oh my God, he's a bad fucking uncle. He's a bad uncle. Get him. Shut up, Melissa. You should get this course, right? And this is the course that I will make for them. So, for example, watch the curriculum, right? In the first week, we're going to be showing you how to establish a strong masculine foundation without letting it hurt your feminine energy. This masculine foundation is a source of who you are, right? It's your bodyguard. Without this, whatever feminine energy you create will be destroyed by the outside, because your masculine is your shield. So we'll talk about goal setting. We'll talk about how to develop a serious attitude. We're going to be talking about how to use more logic, how to use more goal-oriented behavior. It's more how to be a man. Now the next one is how to embrace the feminine energy, right? This one will teach you about how to minimize excessive masculine traits, developing self-awareness, healing abundant feminine energy, regulating your emotion, mastering voice qualities and facial expressions, surrendering control, and allowing pain to be felt. This is honestly, this will supercharge, like Kaioken, your masculine energy. After that, we have femininity in the workplace and how to be feminine in the workplace without letting people take advantage of you, and the nuances of how women on power should behave versus women who are subordinates in the workplace, and even the dress code. This is based on psychology, people. It's kind of insane. I'm actually excited about this one. The next week, we talk about navigating the labyrinth of male and female friendship. And this, a lot of women find confusing, so we talk about that. And how to identify envious friends, how to identify the good friends, how to keep male friends, and how to keep female friends. Week 5, we talk about how to release the burden of the past and stop and destroy mental projections. This is actually really powerful. And then week 6, we talk about how to increase your observational power so that you could read people better. And we have a bunch of bonuses. The course starts at $99, and you guys can pre-order the course today at $69 before it goes out. If you're watching this, most likely I'm in the meditation retreat, so most likely I will be praying for all of you guys. And just click on the description down below of the video. Right there, you'll see it, and you could pre-order that course. It's gonna be out by the end of next month or the beginning of February of March. One of the two, people, because I have a 10-day retreat to do, and I want to finish the course after the retreat, because I think the ideas are gonna be so much better. All right, man. I'll see you guys later. Pre-order, man. Oh, I'm closing the channel.